Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into something pretty wild.
Yeah, it's the whole saga of President Trump back in office, his surprising crypto love fest, and of course what it all means for the markets. We got a ton of stuff to go through, news articles, expert opinions, and even some leaked documents. Buckle up.
You know, it's amazing how fast things have changed. It wasn't that long ago, Trump was basically anti-crypto. Now he's like the crypto king, calling himself the first crypto president, and his policies are really showing that shift.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride for sure. He went from totally dismissing Bitcoin to jumping headfirst into meme coins. Speaking of which, his and Melania's meme coin adventures have been, well, they've been interesting to say the least.
Oh, absolutely. And for anyone who's not familiar with meme coins, they're these cryptocurrencies, usually based on internet jokes or trends. Prices go up and down like crazy, purely based on hype. And the Trump's coins, well, they've been a perfect example of that volatility. Melania's coin is down a whopping 90% from its peak, and Trump's is down 75%. Whoa, 90%. So what does that tell us about meme coins linked to politicians? Is it like a lack of trust in them? Or just the fact that meme coins are just super unpredictable?
It's probably a mix of both, to be honest. Meme coins, by their nature, are risky. They're all about speculation and social media buzz, not real underlying value. And when you throw in a political figure, especially someone like Trump, who's, a bit controversial, it adds this whole other level of uncertainty. I think the market's reaction is showing maybe there's not a ton of confidence in these coins in the long run.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's move on to something else that's been causing a stir. Trump just signed this executive order to create a U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Now, these funds are usually meant to make money for the government through long-term investments, like a giant national savings account. But there's this buzz that this fund might be used to buy Bitcoin. That's huge, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely massive. Even Senator Cynthia Lummis, she's a big Bitcoin supporter, called it a Euro deal on social media. She's been wanting a U.S. Bitcoin reserve for ages. And on Polymarket, it's this crypto prediction market, the odds of Trump setting up a Bitcoin reserve in his first 100 days have gone way up. If this actually happens, it would be a turning point for Bitcoin. It would be like the U.S. government saying, hey, Bitcoin is a legit asset.
This Bitcoin reserve idea sounds like a risky move, though.
It definitely has its risks. Bitcoin can be pretty volatile. If the government puts a big chunk of its wealth fund into it, they could lose a lot of money. But people who are pro-Bitcoin argue that because Bitcoin is limited and more people are using it, it could actually protect against inflation and be a good strategic asset as we move towards digital currencies.
And speaking of Bitcoin's rise, its price has more than doubled since Trump got elected. It's over $100,000 now. And it's not just everyday people investing anymore. Big institutions are getting in on the action too, which completely changes the game. But with all this excitement, there's this big question looming. Are we in a dangerous crypto bubble?
That is the million-dollar question. We've got Elliott Management, they're a huge hedge fund, warning about an inevitable collapse in a leaked letter. And one big trader even said, the market right now feels like it did before the financial crisis.
Oh, wow. Those are some scary warnings. And then there's the whole tariff situation. Trump announced those new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. Crypto prices tanked, including his own meme coin.
Yeah, it really showed how connected traditional markets and crypto are.
Totally.
Trump's policies have a ripple effect, no pun intended, on everything financial. And the fact that he paused those tariffs so quickly and prices bounced back just shows how volatile things are right now.
It's been a roller coaster for crypto investors for sure. It feels like it's getting harder and harder to make good decisions in this crazy crypto world. Do you think it's even possible for the average investor to stay on top of things?
It's definitely a challenge, but it's not impossible. The key is understanding what's driving things, both politically and economically. That's why Trump's new Crypto Advisory Council is so important. This council is going to shape how digital assets are regulated in the U.S., and those decisions could have a global impact.
Yes, so this council, they're supposed to create like a whole regulatory framework for digital assets and blockchain tech. They're going to be tackling the big questions like, are cryptos commodities or are they securities? It's a debate that's been going on forever.
And the answer to that question, it's a pretty big deal for the industry, isn't it? What does it mean for everyday investors like our listeners? Oh, it's huge. If cryptos are considered securities, they'll be regulated by the SEC. That's the Securities and Exchange Commission. They've always been pretty cautious about crypto. But if cryptos are classified as commodities, then it's the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. They're generally seen as more crypto-friendly. So depending on what the council decides, we could see stricter rules or a more open environment for crypto to grow.
So who ends up on this council? That's a pretty big deal then. Any names being thrown around?
Well, based on what we've heard, it's going to be a mix of big names from the industry and Trump's people. We've got folks like Marco Santori, he was the general counsel for Kraken, and Brad Garlinghouse, the founder of Ripple. He even met with Trump at Mar-a-Lago not too long ago. And there's even talk of Frank Chaparro. He hosts that popular crypto podcast, The Scoop, joining the council.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive lineup. Sounds like Trump's going straight to the heart of the crypto world with these picks.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget about the big crypto players who donated to Trump's campaign. Like Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle. He supposedly gave $1 million to Trump's inaugural committee. And then there's Brian Armstrong from Coinbase and Chris Marszalek from Crypto.com. All big names with a lot at stake in the council's decisions.
It sounds like this council has a lot of power. They could really shape the future of crypto, not just in the U.S., but globally. Makes you wonder if this is like a whole new era for crypto, where it becomes more mainstream, more part of the traditional financial system.
It's definitely a possibility. But with more integration comes the need for clear rules, and that's where the council comes in. They need to find that balance between encouraging innovation and protecting investors. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it if we want crypto to reach its full potential.
This is all a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've got Trump going all in on crypto, rumors about a Bitcoin reserve in the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and now this high-stakes regulatory battle brewing in the council. How are our listeners, many of whom are just starting out with crypto, supposed to make sense of all this?
It's definitely a lot to take in, but I think the most important thing to remember is that the basic rules of investing still apply, even in this new world of digital assets.
So what advice would you give to someone new to crypto, trying to navigate this crazy, volatile world? Like, our listeners would love some practical tips. Like, where do you even begin with crypto if you're new?
Well, before you jump into crypto, take a step back and think about what you're trying to achieve. Are you looking to make some quick cash? Or are you in it for the long haul? Maybe you're just fascinated by the technology and how it could change things.
Yeah, that's so important. It's easy to get caught up in all the hype, especially when you see Bitcoin breaking records.
Exactly. Once you know what you want, then it's all about research. Don't just blindly trust what you hear. This market is still pretty unpredictable. And there are a lot of things we just don't know yet. Find reliable news sources, industry reports, and independent analysts. Don't just rely on social media or online forums. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
And let's be real. There are people out there who just want to take advantage of newbies. So if someone's promising you guaranteed returns or some get-rich-quick scheme, run the other way.
Definitely. DYR, do your own research. You'll hear that a lot in the crypto world. And for good reason. On top of research, diversification is key. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, just like you wouldn't in the stock market. Spread your risk across different assets.
That makes total sense. But with so many cryptocurrencies out there, how do you even choose which ones to invest in?
That's where your research comes in handy. Look for projects that have strong fundamentals, a good team behind them, and a real use case. Steer clear of meme coins or anything that's purely hype-driven. They're super volatile and usually don't have much substance.
So research and diversification. Got it.
Yeah.
Any other warning signs people should look out for?
Keep an eye on market sentiment. Is everyone super excited or super scared? Is there any big news coming up from regulators? Also pay attention to what's happening in the economy as a whole. All of that can affect.
So it's about connecting the dots, understanding how different things can influence how crypto performs. And of course, the golden rule of investing still applies here, right?
You got it. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Crypto is risky. And you could lose a lot of money.
Good reminder for everyone, especially with all the buzz around crypto these days. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from Trump's surprise love affair with crypto to that potential U.S. Bitcoin reserve and that powerful Crypto Advisory Council. It's clear that we're at a turning point for digital assets.
It's an exciting time to be a part of this, but it's important to be cautious and not believe everything you hear. Like we talked about today, research diversification and managing your risk are super important.
This deep dive has been amazing. I hope everyone listening feels a bit more prepared to handle the crazy world of crypto.
Remember, stay informed, stay alert, and keep exploring. The future of finance is being shaped right now, and crypto is definitely leading the way.
That's all for today's deep dive, folks. We'll catch you next time.